Nick, knock knock.
Who's there?
Not Sony at E3. Wait, what?
Are you serious?
Let's get into it.
As you guys know, Sony's not going to be attending E3 again this year. What do you think about that, Davey?
I think it is dog shit, but yet I don't really care because I never really went to E3, so it doesn't really matter. I think they are big enough to sustain themselves now that they don't need to be at E3 anymore. It really doesn't really affect me. I mean, E3 has been completely, in the decline as of a couple of years.
Yeah, they kind of have been.
Yeah, because it used to be exclusive to reporters and press and stuff like that, but now since the decline of just everything with E3, they've been letting anybody in now. So you can just go buy your ticket now and just go in there without having a press pass or nothing.
That was me and Junior last year. You might be able to see. I have my E3 2019 shirt, and it was honestly a lot of fun.
Mm.
There's a lot of stuff to see. Actually, we didn't even have enough time to see everything.
Yeah, because it's just a whole bunch of people now. Now you're sitting in lines now. You know.
That is absolutely true. There was even lines to get into some of the stores.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Just to buy stuff, which was ridiculous. I remember we ended up waiting about 2 hours just to play Borderlands 3.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and while it was worth it, it was 100% worth it. It was a long time just to play one game at a conference where there's a ton of games.
Yep.
To try out, and honestly, I don't think Sony being there would have made it better. Really,
I mean, look at not last year's, but the year beforehand, they had everybody crammed into a little itty bitty tent, and then once they were done with that, they moved everybody from that tent into the auditorium. Nobody needs that now. You know what I'm saying? I think it's because of the whole success of Nintendo's directs that really put a pavement and a pathway for these other companies to be like, okay, well, we can get go trending because of a 20-minute segment about what's upcoming and what's new or whatnot, and especially for the next generation, they could do like an hour and a half of just the whole complete breakdown of the next generation console, and then instead of having the guy with the flute going, wasting everybody's time, or Bethesda's freaking performance of Andrew WK just like and everyone's just like.
Actually, I think the worst,
the foreigner people, they're just like, yeah, we got this. This is fun. This is what America's about, But no.
Honestly, I think it would have been Sony's or Ubisoft's that normally I would be there for Sony's because I'm mainly a PlayStation gamer, but that one with the musical performances, the whole time I was just like,
nobody fucking cares. Yes,
yeah,
nobody fucking cares.
I don't care about this dude with his guitar or this guy with this Japanese flute.
It's good music. Care. It's good music, but guess what? Let me experience it in the game instead of a press event.
Yeah, or just show me the game because it was just padding to the time.
It was.
I digress because honestly, I didn't miss anything if I would have gone that year, but it was a little bit strange not to see them in 2019. Yeah. But honestly, I don't know if we would have been able to experience a whole lot when we went because like you said, there were so many people there. There was thousands, and it started to disperse a little bit later in the day, but by that you've been waiting in line for a good chunk of the day. And,
exactly. Yeah.
I mean, and you're paying about like damn, if you don't live in the area, you're paying
out the ass.
Like we flew here or we flew there from Nebraska, and the plane tickets themselves were about $300. We looked like we ended up having to go kind of on the fly and so we weren't able to really plan stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and so everything ended up being way more expensive than I would have liked, and that doesn't include the gamer pass, which you needed to even be in E3.
Yeah.
And that ended up being about $200 something. So it's an expensive thing, but
Yep.
I would like to go again, but
there's just there's no use to going again. You know what I'm saying? Like, most of the time when people, like, most developers now, they put out betas, so you can just play it right then and there if they wanted, to showcase it. And if you, why would you want to pay $300-$400 to go all the way to California to experience this, to be sitting in lines, to experience 20 minutes of a gameplay, and then 20 minutes of that gameplay, and it's just like, it just doesn't really appeal to me.
Well, like you said, it seems like these companies have found much better ways to disperse this information that you would normally go to E3 or watch E3 to take in. But now, like you said, Nintendo's got Nintendo Direct. Sony followed suit and made Days of Play, which so far have been really successful, I think. Their state of plays are a really good idea, because instead of having to wait for one big event for
at the end of the
per year, you get a good chunk of info every month.
Yeah, usually every month, every other month.
Yeah, they don't always do a state of play, but when they do, it's pretty cool. We get new trailers and other information.
They're getting better at it. They're getting better at it. Sony's getting better at it. They're not like up there with like Nintendo, but they're getting better.
Nintendo's been doing it for a while now, haven't they?
Yes, I believe ever since they've been doing it for a while. I'm not sure how long they've been doing it, but there was a quote from a Sony spokesperson. Quote this, and they said, after thorough evaluation, Sony Interactive Entertainment has decided not to participate in E3 2020. We have great respect for the ESA as an organization, but we don't feel like the vision of E3 2020 is the right venue for what we are focused on this year. So after Sony actually confirmed that they were not going to show up to E3 this year, Phil Spencer, the spokesman for Microsoft, took to Twitter and said this: "Our team is hard at work on E3. We look forward to sharing with all who love to play what's ahead for us." So that was kind of like a dig, saying that, hey, we're still going to be there. Don't worry that we're not going to miss anything.
Make sure to look for us while we're at E3 and pay attention, because I bet you they're going to have some big announcements. Like last year, they killed it.
Yeah, they
showed a bunch of games. They showed I know there was a good chunk of them that were indie games, but hey, that's cool.
Yeah,
it was about 60 something games, I want to say, if I remember correctly. That's a lot. And that was when they announced all these different companies that they purchased to work under them.
Yep, and we talked about that on the other video as well. So.
Yep, and so we're gonna be seeing some big games announced from them at E3 this year. Yep. And so I'm pretty excited about that.
And all the information that we know about the next generation console for Sony is that at CES of, I believe, last year, or is it this year? I think it was this year. No, last year. I can't remember. Anyways, they have only revealed the logo of the PS5. And that's pretty much it. And that the console will be backwards compatible for the PS4, and it will actually ship with an SSD, and it will also have support for 8K, 8K graphics and ray tracing. Sorry, so
okay,
yeah, honestly, with the ray tracing, I'm not expecting much. I think it's gonna be half baked in these consoles, but. You never know. We don't know anything about that. We don't know what they're dealing with AMD and stuff like that. I do know that AMD is going to be doing the graphics and the processor for next generation. I think they always do. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on that. I'm sorry, but an SSD. Uh,
100% necessary.
but what kind of SSD is it? Is it going to be a special SSD? Like they said that they're going to be eliminating pretty much all of the loading screens, and it's going to free up some space so that draw distances will be more. That makes no sense, but it's what I've heard. But
Basically, they're going to be able to do more with like the graphics than they ever have been able to. Which I mean, that's kind of a given when it comes to new hardware. But when it comes to draw distance, I mean, they've had to use techniques in the past to make it so it's not taking so much of the.
I think what you're thinking of is the checkerboarding rendering, so that it's easier on the.
They use lesser textures on the stuff far away, so it doesn't take as much memory. That's the word I was looking for.
But the thing is that, like, they're saying that these load times are going to be significantly cut in half, and that it's just going to be faster loading times, like I said. But the thing is that we've always had that with PC. So if they're doing something completely different, that kind of worries me, because if they are using a completely special SSD, that means that it could be more expensive if it goes out and you have to order a new part for it.
That's a good point.
So
that was I don't mean to interrupt you.
Good.
That was one thing that happened a lot when people's disk drives or not disk drives, but when people's PlayStation 3s would break down. Some of those parts were actually really expensive because they were especially made for the PS3, and so as far as consoles are nowadays, I feel like since they are more like PCs, I feel it'll be a little cheaper actually, at least than it was for PS3. But I guess we won't really know until we actually see some concrete stuff.
Exactly. And like, SSDs are built to be like, the longevity, they're supposed to last for a long time. So instead of having an actual like a disk hard drive, because I know with a disk hard drive, if you drop it, it's done. With SSDs, you can drop it all you want. It almost 85% of the time it's not going to fail. But I really want to know about this support 8K, and I know for a fact, all these bullshit, tabloids and stuff like that saying it's gonna have 8K graphics, bro. It's gonna 8K. It's gonna be native. Fuck, it's not, dude. Dude, we have nothing right now. I don't believe that can actually run 8K. Like,
I don't see
unless
the
you
point
unless you
going
stick
8K right off the bat like that.
So I'm very curious on how they are going to come at it with the price point of what they're offering. But ray tracing too, like, that's brand new technology. That's brand new. It just came out last year with the RTX cards. But the price point, man, what's your price point? What do you think?
500.
500?
It's gonna be 500.
Okay.
I don't remember where I heard. I read this somewhere, but they're saying it's gonna be 500. I believe we're gonna see a price drop in the PS4 Pro and the regular, the Slim. But yeah, I believe it's gonna be at 500, which is where the PS4 started, I believe.
No.
Was that 400?
Yep.
It was 400. Okay. Yeah, I think that that extra $100, if all we're hearing about it, will be worth it.
It might be, but it just seems like they're taking a huge price cut. Like, they're gonna, like, I mean, every console when it first comes out, they always take a huge price cut. But I think this is gonna be the biggest one that they've had yet, because they're really competing with PC right now. I mean, ultimately, competing with PC. Like, but the thing is, the thing is with consoles is that they're supposed to be for people that can't afford PCs. You know what I'm saying? So you know that you're not going to get the best graphics, the best technology. You just want to play games, right?
Right. You just ease of use more than anything.
Yeah.
Right.
So when you make a console $500, $600, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
and I understand that technology is completely, fast paced. So do you think? So do you think that it was smart for E3 for Sony to skip E3 this year?
Honestly, I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters. I think maybe it's better even because they're not stuck to a single hour or hour and a half of time to try to push these trailers out. They can spread out their release information for these games in the PS5 over however long they want to take. And honestly, I think that'll be better for the players.
Yep. So I think that they made a good decision, and I think it's good. So
yeah, no, I agree.
Hey guys, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button and click that bell icon to get notified for all of our new videos. And once again, thanks for watching.